Got
Yes.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. This meeting is held in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act 10:4-6 at SEEK. Annual notice having been forwarded to the New Jersey Herald and the New Jersey Sunday Herald and posted on the bulletin board maintained in the municipal building for public announcement. Will you please rise and join me in salute to the flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Here.
Mr. Sharilla.
Here.
Mr. Dellarina. Ms. Crock. Here. Mr. Kusevich. Mr. Rossi. Mr. Taylor.
Here.
Mr. Wagner. Mr. Mezalowski.
Here.
Councilman Smith.
Here.
Mr. Spitaletto.
Here.
Mayor Galati.
Here.
Chairman Ray.
Okay, a motion is in order to approve the minutes of July 2nd, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Second, it's in a second.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Sharilla.
Yes.
Ms. Crock.
Abstain.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Mezalowski.
Yes.
Chairman, Councilman Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Spitaletto.
Abstain.
Mayor Galati.
Abstain.
Chairman Ray.
Yes. Okay, next item on the agenda is resolutions. We have two. First resolution is number 53 Point Pleasant Road. The hearing date was June 18th, 2024. Letty Zuko is the name. Do I have a motion to approve that resolution?
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Sherla.
Yes.
Ms. Crock.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Mezalowski.
Yes.
Councilman Smith.
Abstain.
Mr. Spitaletto.
Yes.
Mayor Galati.
Yes.
Chairman Ray.
Yes, you'll get it.
I will. I practiced all day.
Okay, next resolution is Michael Darmstadter, 4 Stony Point Road. The hearing date was May 21st, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll make the motion. Second.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Abstain.
Mr. Sherla.
Yes.
Ms. Crock.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Mezalowski.
Abstain.
Councilman Smith.
Abstain.
Mr. Spitaletto.
Abstain.
Mayor Galati.
Yes.
Chairman Ray.
Yes. A correspondence, the only correspondence we have is the Brookland at Lake Point Condominium Association. Did you get a copy of that though?
I did, and
This is Green Tree, correct? Is that the Green
Green
Tree?
Tree.
Yeah,
I saw a note come through that they were supposed to start paving.
it's done.
Done?
The
Okay.
project is essentially done.
All right.
So, I mean, as far as compliance with the ADA and all that, I mean, that's gonna have to, he's gonna have to comply and John Rushing's gonna have to sign off on it. That's where I see it.
Right.
Correct?
Okay, they're moving ahead.
Okay. Okay, escrow refunds. We have none. Bills. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
Make the motion.
Second.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Sherla.
Yes.
Ms. Crock.
Yes.
Mr. Kusevich. I'm sorry. Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Mezalowski.
Yes.
Councilman Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Spitaletto.
Yes.
Mayor Galati.
Yes.
Chairman Ray.
Yes. Okay, next item on the agenda is zoning officer report. Bill, you got some?
Yeah, unfortunately, sorry.
All right, no problem.
Okay, two situations, 153 Point Pleasant Road. This one, it was a dock that the board approved, just, as a matter of fact, we just voted on the resolution. And we started to install it, and the dock was approved and designed initially to be parallel to the property lines. And the owner of the property, when he saw the way it was laying out, it looked out of whack to him. And so he wanted it, if at all possible, to build the dock so that it was perpendicular to the shoreline, to the seawall. And in reality, this would open up some space to the property to the right and their boats and such. I think one gentleman, mentioned that the other night. But at any rate, the long and the short of it is, on one side is what was approved, not exactly the scale, but it is what was stamped and approved. On the other side is the proposed dock that is perpendicular, and it does not trigger any new variances. It is staying out of the deed restricted area. As a matter of fact, they said they would shrink the boat, the width of the dock down to 15 as opposed to 16, just to play it safe to stay out of the restricted area. So I just wanted to let the board see this. I don't see any new variances, and I'm about to approve it, but I'd like the board to know about it.
Yeah, I don't see a problem, it doesn't trigger anything, so.
Thank you. The other one is 127 West End, it's also two-sided. On one side is that's the stamped approved plan, and then the other side is the as-built. And this application was before the board back in 2022. The builder who got the approvals didn't build the house, he sold the project. My question is, everything is fine except the front set of stairs. It was done differently, and it was explained to me that if they only did the couple of stairs coming off the stoop, which would be good, then we have that long sidewalk coming down on a grade and then stepping over to the driveway. That was problematic, so he just simply built the stairs the way you see it on the as-built. The technicality of it is, I can ignore the stairs as far as a front yard setback is concerned. If the stairs are no more than 6 feet from the front of the house, which they were in the approved plan. The as-built is showing the stairs to be 8 feet from the front of the house, so therefore I would actually measure my front yard setback from them. The variance was approved at 33 feet. This is running about 25. I was wondering if the board would be willing, if I were to consider the fact that it's a front set of stairs, to be somewhat de minimis and not require them to come back.
I mean, it's not going out as far as the approved sidewalk was gonna go, correct, Phil? I mean, it's back
Correct.
considerably from there.
I believe so anyway. Let me double check.
I mean, to me, I mean, I can see that it's. I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. Anybody else does?
No, it's farther back.
Yes.
I think it makes better engineering sense, because then you don't have a wall on both sides of the driveway. You don't have the Grand Canyon going to the garage.
So, I think you
It
can,
opens up the left-hand
I
side.
think you can handle that.
Thank you, terrific. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, then we'll move on to new applications. We have 4 tonight. We're gonna rearrange them a little bit. We have 3 use variances, which the mayor and council people have to recuse themselves for. So we'll take the easy one first, which would be number 4 on the agenda. Herschel Arnberg Irrevocable Trust, 15 Portside Road.
Or lunch.
Paul Bell on behalf of the applicant. We have an application this evening relating to a lakefront property. The property is developed with a 2-story frame. Dwelling associated improvements include concrete and slate walkways. There's a paved driveway, a rear deck, 2 docks extending into the lake. The applicant is proposing to construct a paver patio and approval of a previously constructed block retaining wall. What happened was last year, the Ehrenbergs went ahead and they had built a wall, not realizing that they needed to get approvals for that. And of course, Mr. Donegan, doing his job as he always does, cited them. And we wound up in municipal court and obviously paying a penalty. In the interim, though, the Ehrenbergs retained my services, and we started the site plan application. We made the application, and it does seem pretty straightforward. I know that we sent in pictures along with and I hope you have the pictures, along with the site plan And we do need some variances to get the approval. And the variances are outlined in the application.
This is constructed already.
It's already constructed. What's not there, though, are the pavers. The pavers have not been applied to the patio. So what we have is we have the wall. The wall has actually been constructed already. And again, there's some pictures which you should have.
There we go.
We
You
have
do have, them. Okay, good, great. And those pictures show the wall and the measurements of how high the wall is. And so what's gonna happen is on top of the wall, you'll see there's turf that's laid down. Instead of the turf, of course, they're going to put pavers on top of the patio, the existing patio. And what I'd like to do is call Phil Gregor here to testify with regard to the site plan, and I have Ms. Ehrenberg here as well. So if we could have them sworn in, we could get the process started. Phil, you want to stand up?
The testimony you're about to give create the whole truth and everything.
I do.
And your name, sir,
William R. Gregor.
and your license.
Yes, I'm licensed professional engineer in the state of New Jersey and Pennsylvania.
And you testified a couple times before.
I've testified before with APCO numerous times. I see a lot of new faces,
Been a
so,
while. It's been a while.
Yeah,
but I think some of you remember me. And I've testified in most of the municipalities in northern Jersey one time or other.
and you also acted as a borough engineer also.
Yeah, I've acted borough engineer in about, I'm gonna say a dozen and a half municipalities in northern New Jersey, one time or other.
And you had an opportunity to review this application?
Yes, I did. This was brought to me after when the applicant was advised that he constructed a patio or deck area and he needed permits. He wasn't aware of this. When I saw the first thought, the block wall was already in place. And I gave advice both to the applicant and to their contractor. And there were some minor modifications made, and what you see on the drawing which I'm presenting is what was the final product.
Okay, just before we move on, we just could have him qualified as an expert, Mr. Hagerty?
Yes.
Yeah.
No issue.
Accept it, yes.
Okay, very good. So you did have drawing, you have it there? You want to put
Yeah.
it up on the easel over here so
Sure.
the board can see it? You can just mark that as A1.
A1 is the plan that the
A1?
board received.
Is that the same as what they have here?
Gregor, could you just describe the lot for the board, please?
Let me silence this before we embarrass myself. And when the date is today?
If you could proceed to just describe the lot for the board first.
Yes. The lot is a lot which is 10,602 square feet. Lot width of 74.6 feet. The depth is 150 feet. The front yard setback is 36.4 feet. All of this has not changed. The side yard setbacks are 6.8 feet one side, 15 foot total. That has not changed. Rear yard is 53.4. That has not changed. What has changed is that the minimum setback to the lake has been reduced from 53.4, which was existing, to 28.8 to the newly constructed block wall.
Now, we're asking the,
And the only other variance that is required is a max lot coverage variance, which there was 35% permitted. It was 31.9. It is now slightly over the permitted is 39.6%.
okay, and are there any pre-existing non-conforming conditions?
Yes, lot area, the lot width, the side yard and the rear, the side yard and the front yard are pre-existing non-conforming. And the two new, I just mentioned the two new variances, which were the setback to the lake and maximum lot coverage.
And with respect to the patio, can you just point out to where the patio is on
Yeah.
that plan?
The patio is this shaded in area. The block wall runs from this location right up against the existing patio area to back to the house here. There was a patio previously which extended areas such as this. That was removed and it was actually, this is actually the existing patio was added onto this proposed block patio area.
And what is the material that's going to be used for the pavers on top here?
It's I think it's a gray paver. It's very, very nice looking paver, modern pavers. I didn't bring a picture with me, but I think you've all seen most of them having in driveways and patio areas throughout the valley.
Is it, the owner considering impervious pavers, so we don't have, we
Though they are not impervious pavers, but they're not, they have sand between them and underneath them.
Yeah, would the owner consider pervious pavers, so for better drainage, so that the amount of impervious coverage does not go up?
In all honesty, there's gonna be very little difference in whether you have pervious or impervious because of the sand that's underneath and the sand that's between. It's a loose sand that does not pack it, that it does not compact. In addition, we do have an under drain system. And the material under the pavers will absorb a lot of water in due course. And there are weep holes to let the water out should there be torrential downpours. And there is over 25 feet of grass area between the finished pavers, the finished block wall and the lake to act as a filter to filter the runoff before it does go to the lake.
it looks like the material inside the patio is like gravel. It looks like
It
it's
is.
pretty,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a-
and filter fabric on top of it, so it appears to me that it'll have a
yeah, there's
pretty
gravel
decent drainage in
around
there,
the
you know?
periphery
I would
of
think the
the,
pervious pavers will do a little bit better job of letting the water go down and down through them as opposed to over the wall in a heavy rain.
Well, I think if you use pavers where you keep the sand between it, where, you can't use the stuff where you cement them up with a
Oh,
joint,
no,
so
no,
it becomes
this-
so,
this-
but all underneath there, Anthony, it's all gravel, it's filled, so the
Well,
water.
I get that point, but
Yeah.
the point is so that the water goes down through the pavers as opposed to
Yeah,
off to the side onto the 25 feet by the lake, right? You want it to go down and drain down right below it, so.
and for most storm events, upwards to the 25-year storm, just normal design storm, the runoff will be minimal. The only runoff you're gonna have is when you hit the point here, no matter what you put, you're gonna have a problem with that. I did consider the pervious pavers in lieu of this. But for the area we're covering and the amount of runoff you get, it would be negligible difference, in my opinion. So that's why I recommended that the applicant go with the standard pavers. They last a lot longer though.
Now, did you have an opportunity to review the technical review letter that was sent to the board from John Rushkey?
Yes, I did, and I think we complied with all of his requirements.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just, one of the issues was that the site plan should provide more information on the previously constructed block wall, including the top and bottom wall levels. And I'm just gonna ask you, if we could just mark these pictures.
They were submitted with the application.
Okay, so that's fine.
Yeah.
So those pictures, Mr. Gregor, do they show the top and bottom
They
elevations of the
show
wall?
the height of the wall, which
Okay,
by your ordinances must be 4 feet or less. And also for structural purposes, they have to be 4 feet or less, or otherwise you require calculations and possibly a geofabric to strengthen the wall. With a height less than 4 feet, you don't need any structural fabric. And we, rather than go to the cost of a surveyor to put top and bottom wall elevations, it was really unnecessary. There was no grading changes made other than putting the wall in, and the wall's less than is 4 feet or less. So we felt to save the applicant undue cost and with no beneficial information for the board, I recommended that to John Rushby that the pictures would be sufficient, and my understanding is he agreed.
Yeah, well, I had some discussions with John about that and he did. So with regard to the last one, it talks about a soil erosion and sediment control measures being installed, silt fence, et cetera, should be noted on the plan. Do you have any comment on Mr. Rushke's comments
Yes,
relating
in
to
my
the need for
reply
a silt
letter
fence?
to Mr. Rushkey, I had indicated to him that there'll be no disturbance, land disturbance outside of the wall. And therefore, the requirements for soil erosion and sediment control plan are not required. It's not required, and therefore I asked also that since it wouldn't provide any benefit to the lake, I asked him if we could waive that requirement.
Yeah, judging by the pictures, I mean, it's already stone,
It's
it's
already built when I
stabilized, it's
saw it,
already
yeah.
there, so there's no more disturbance going on.
No,
Just-
if it had been prior to me seeing it, yes, I would have recommended it.
And then with regard to the completion of the project, are there any other issues that you see with regard to construction and any issues that need to be addressed that, other than the issues that you've addressed with regard to the request for the various variances?
No, there are no other requirements other than I've indicated on my plan which needs to be constructed, and I believe Mr. Rushby agrees.
Okay, so with that, I would open it up to questions, if the board has questions of Mr. Greger.
You see from the photographs, the less than 4 feet height of the wall, but the safety enhancement to put some type of fence around there, I could see somebody.
Your railing.
We seriously considered that. If you notice, we put landscaping, the applicant has provided landscaping in this area right here. We have very tall trees which will go above. This lip of the wall is higher in this location. And there is landscaping all along this area also to provide beautification, beautiful view from the lake, and to mask the wall from the boat, the view of the boats, see greenery rather than block walls.
I do-
even though it's a decorative block.
I do have Mrs. Ehrenberg here, and I could have her sworn in. We talked about this issue, and she had indicated that she was gonna put planter boxes along the edge of the wall, and that the pavers weren't gonna go all the way to the end. And I guess there was gonna be a gravel strip around the end, but she was talking about planter boxes. So if we could just have Ms. Ehrenberg sworn in, perhaps I could have her testify. She's right there. Do you want to stand up for a minute, Ms. Ehrenberg?
You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Well, ma'am,
Elaine Ehrenberg.
and you're one of the property owners?
Yes.
Yes. So, Ms. Ehrenberg, the question has to do with the risk of somebody falling off the end of the wall. Do you recall us speaking about that?
Yes.
And you had mentioned to me, and just confirm this if you would, that you were gonna put planter boxes along the
Right.
edge of the wall.
Right, so nobody would go there.
Okay, and did you have an idea of exactly what you were gonna do, or is it just conceptual in mind, or you have planter boxes?
I
picked out?
already have. planter.
Oh.
I have planters down there now.
Okay, and but you were going to spread them out along the edge of the wall that we were gonna do, instead of putting railings?
Yes.
Okay,
correct.
and if the board required you to put railings, you'd be willing to put railings, I'm assuming.
Yes.
That's not, at this point,
Right.
what you'd like to do. I mean, obviously aesthetically, you'd like to just have plants.
Exactly.
Well, thank you. Do you have any questions, Ms. Ehrenberg?
What is the height of your planter boxes? How high are they?
Not very high. Just, it would just show that that would be the
That's
end of the wall.
Well, I think it's just gonna fall on them. If they choose not to put a railing around the thing, then that's on them, you know what I'm saying?
What the code requires, kind of thing,
Yeah,
is where we are.
yeah.
Right.
Okay. With that, any other questions, Ms. Ehrenberg or Mr. Gregory?
I have a question for Mr. Gardner.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wall detail there and you have behind the wall and a drain tile below. That's what, 4-inch perforated PVC that you're running around there?
Yes, 4-inch perforated PVC, and also as an outlet to daylight.
Where are the daylights? That's what I was looking for in the picture. I didn't see
The
where.
daylights will be right here at the end.
Okay. You're just gonna have one?
And here.
Okay, so the water that's soaking into the sand between the cracks and
Right.
getting behind the wall is only gonna have one discharge point?
Well, no, there's actually, I told the contractor to put a daylight here and here, which would actually split the flow to 2 locations through the grass.
You're gonna have
Where it
a
is
riprap
delayed.
on that outlet to keep it from scouring?
Pardon?
Are you gonna have any riprap on that outlet to keep it from scouring?
No, there's the flow through there. I've built hundreds of these walls. The flow through those outlet pipes is so slow that it barely bends the grass. I have numerous walls like this right on my own property. And there is no need there's no velocity to that water. It's very slow.
Understood.
I think we're good.
Anything else? You good?
Questions or any- I'll open this application to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to comment on this application? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board, wait for a motion.
I'll make the motion.
What's the
Second.
motion? Motion to approve?
Yep.
Okay.
Mr. Badriani,
Yes.
Mr. Sherrillo,
Yes.
Ms. Croft,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Mazzarowski,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Spitaletto,
Yes.
Mayor Galati,
Yes.
Chairman Ray.
Very good.
we
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, the next application will be a use variance. For this application, the mayor and council members have to step down for this.
Next 3 will.
Next 3, yeah.
It's back or no?
Huh? All right, the first application is Celeste Scarangelo, block 30408, lot 10, 251 Lakeside Boulevard.
Good to go? Okay, thanks, Mr. Chairman. Bernd Heffley on behalf of the applicant. This property, yes, is at 251 Lakeside Boulevard. And what we have here on this property is a 2-story garage structure that the owner seeks to use for their mother to occupy as a mother-in-law suite, in-law suite, if you will. The main house on the property sits a little further down. The main house is really too small to expand, doesn't really work logistically. The garage is a two-story garage structure right now, and the cars parked down below, and the second story is basically vacant. So that garage structure could easily be converted for the use of the mother. Now, we're not looking to change the footprint with regard to the structure. We're actually not looking to change any of those bulk parameters that exist today. The side yard setbacks would stay exactly the same, but the variance, again, and it is the use variance, is the habitation in an accessory structure. Again, this would only be for the family and for the mother. And so we have 3 witnesses tonight: the property owner, Celeste Scarangelo. We have our architect, Steve Bias, and our professional planner. So, and we also have the mother in the audience. So let me bring up the property owner first, Celeste Scarangelo.
Hello.
Hello.
Please raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And you're one of the property owners?
Yes.
Okay, Celeste, so you own the property. When did you folks purchase it?
April 12th, we closed.
April 12th of this year,
Yes, so we've been there for 3 months.
for 3 months. Okay. So just describe the property as it exists today for the board.
The main house has 3 bedrooms. The garage, as he explained, is 2 levels right now. The second level that we're talking about is, I can currently walk through the middle. So the height is probably about 6 feet. It's just that it's not to code. There's steps already going up to the second floor. It has its own electrical panel, separate electrical panel. And then the main house is 3 bedrooms, and I have 4 kids, ages 12 to 16. So, and my mother has been here since we moved in. She's renting an apartment currently in Florida as temporary. She has recently divorced. So we are looking to, she's 67 years young. We're looking to have her closer to us and move in permanently, possibly in that second floor of the garage. And obviously, as she gets older in her years, it would be easier for us to care for her. And then she gets to be close to the grandchildren as well.
So the utilization of that second floor would only be for your family.
Only for our family. And obviously 3 bedrooms right now, we have 4 kids in one, my mother in the other one, and my husband and I in the other one. It's a little tight.
Okay. All right. That's all I have right now for Ms. Scangello.
So there's no proposed change to the structure,
Zero.
exterior wise.
Right, it's gonna stay exactly, the footprint's gonna stay exactly the same. We're really just reconfiguring that second floor so that it would be actually usable. It is, like you said, it does already have utilities and electric and stuff, but it's not built out, for an apartment, so.
You're not gonna change the height of it?
Not this, the structure staying exactly as it is, correct?
No, there's gonna be, we'll have some architectural testimony.
Okay.
The second floor is gonna get reconfigured to look right, because we have some pictures in there. It really is not all that attractive right now. And by the time Mr. Bias gets done with it, I think it'll be very attractive. But it does stay a 2-story structure in that footprint.
The height is gonna stay the same?
No, it's gonna be.
I know
higher.
the height's gonna change. Height's gonna change, but we'll get to that. But we're in compliance with the changes that we're making in terms of the ordinances. But that's our next witness, Mr. Bias, and he'll go through the actual plan and the improvements that we're proposing to that structure, because it is a little tired. So. This list is done for now.
Okay.
So if we could have Mr. Bias sworn, he's our professional architect.
You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
And your full name, please.
Stephen Bias.
And you're a licensed architect in the
Yes,
state
sir.
of New Jersey, and your license is granted. You testified before this board a number of times.
I have. Yes, sir. Good evening. So this is just a copy of the plot plan. I submitted 2 sheets, A1 and A2. A1 is just a basic rundown of the zoning information, the impervious coverage information. Then we have on the right-hand side of sheet A1, we have a plot plan, which indicates the location of the primary existing residence and the garage, right? So the top of the sheet would be Lake Pacom. The backside way up here is Lakeside Boulevard. Property slopes down. And the property where the driveway comes through and bisects the lakeside residence, and then it separates the garage on the uphill side of the property. right? So what we're proposing to do is maintain the existing footprint and add a deck to the lakeside of the existing structure. That deck would incorporate the area of the apron that is used to pull into the garage at the current time, so there's really no change in impervious coverage there. We're opting to remove these stairs from the inside of the garage to give us more storage space and put an exterior set of stairs on the west side and east side of the garage to access the second floor living space.
Steve, let me just stop you for 1 second. I just want to try to get the board doing a little clarification as to what we're doing. So as part of the application materials that I submitted for, I think it's page 7, we submitted a few pictures of the structure so that you could see what's existing. And existing, what's there today, so that you can compare that to what we're proposing. There were four pictures submitted along with the application. Does the board have those? Yeah, I see.
There we go.
Okay, Steve, go ahead. Here, do the rest. Those are 4 we submitted.
So as was mentioned, the side yards stay exactly the same. We're requesting no variance. There's a 15-foot side yard setback required. One side we have 12.6, one side we have 4.3. The only aggravation would be the construction of a new staircase on the east side of the garage. And that's generally the footprint that will remain, and that's what we're proposing. So that's sheet A1. A2 describes more of the architecture, what we're looking to do there. So this is A2. It consists of the 4 elevations and the 2 floor plans. So you'll see we're keeping the basic outline of the existing structure. There's a set of interior stairs that we're removing, and that'll all be part of the construction document process. It's not a zoning issue. We're relocating to the stairs to the right side of the building to access the second floor. So generally what we're doing, what you see in those photographs is it's like a half height second floor. The plate height on the sidewalls is maybe 4.5 feet, and then you have like a 3 slope pitch, and you really don't have space down the middle. So what we're proposing to do is change that to an 8-foot plate height on the sides, which is normal standard construction height, and then develop more of a sloping roof. We're using a 9-on-12 roof, which is more characteristic of the homes in the area, and that will give us the proper head height and room we need around the entire rectangle of the existing structure. So you can see a basic run through the plans. Access, come up to the stairs, come to a covered landing into a small foyer. That's our general living space. We would have a kitchen, a dining and a living room space, and then 1 bedroom in the back, full bathroom, and then a washer dryer closet, and then just an 8-foot deck off the front of the building. As far as the elevations go, this would be where the existing plate height is now. We're proposing to raise it approximately 4 feet and then create a new roof structure on top of that new plate construction. So the geometry changes, but the footprint is basically the same.
This is gonna be serviced by sewer, city sewer?
There's an existing sewer line. We would tap into that.
Okay.
With a lateral into the line that they already have.
Bill, how would we handle that? Would that be an additional EDU? I mean, as far as the sewer goes?
I'm thinking so, of course, the sewer department, the sewer.
I think that would be appropriate if this was approved.
That's how I've seen it done in the past, actually. Yep.
It's my understanding you'd be able to connect to the existing line.
Just that you're gonna pay, for an additional dwelling, more or less.
And it's well for your water source?
I'm not sure. So
Yeah, there's no public water there.
Yeah.
How far, I can't zoom in. How far out is that stairway on the side? gonna
about
put you?
3.5, 4 feet.
4 feet? With the overhang, with the roof and everything?
That's it. Yep, that's all it would be.
If I might mention the review, I was not privy to this plan for which I did my review. So as a result, the figures on my review are not accurate. I didn't notice that the height is 27 feet,
Is that what it says here?
27 point something or other.
27.2 to the right.
So,
But if there is. That's from the front pavement to the
okay,
ridge.
did you do the average grade?
No, I did not.
Okay, so it definitely triggers a height. It's instead of the accessory structure is 18 feet, it's 27 point something.
It's Bill, I'm sorry, I don't recall. Is it 18 as the mean height or the?
It's 18 from the tippy top of the roof down to the ground, or tippy top of the roof down to the average grade.
On an accessory structure.
And it's same as our, the house. Although the
Okay,
house
I
is
just want to double check that for you, but the grade rises to the back. You can see it in the photographs, you see it on our drawings. Now, I would have to give you those numbers.
You'd have to figure them out, but I mean, it's just, it's so inclined to be that one of the variances.
So, Steve, just to that, so that I understand, so the average grade height here, I mean, the property slopes from the street down, right? So we have less average grade height down at the street end than we do at down at the end of the driveway where the garage doors are.
Right, I mean, I have my scale, I could measure this back right here.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like from the street side. And then you're picking up another 4.5 feet when you get down to the garage, the driveway side.
So one more time, so to the top of the roof, it's 27 feet from the bottom of the garage door, that's 27 feet?
Correct.
Okay, so the average grade height is not gonna be 27, it's gonna be,
Much less.
it's gonna be 20,
Well,
something,
it's 4.5.
4, 3, whatever it is.
It's gonna be 25 feet, then, so 27 will go down to 25.
Right.
Still
Bigger than
triggers.
Yeah, so it's gonna be, it's gonna be some kind of a height variance, I'm not quite sure. And Bill, what was it, what's the actual dimension it's supposed to be?
18 feet.
18. Okay, so we're gonna have a 6, 7 foot variance on the height. Is what that means.
Can you drop that roof line down a little bit?
I could change that to a 6 pitch if you want, or, you know, I wouldn't want to get much lower than that, of course. But yes, I could reduce that, and that would have not, it would not have a negative effect on what we're proposing.
Yep.
I dropped it to a 7 or even a 6, we'd still make it, you know, it's still fine.
Okay, so that would give it a softer appearance too. I mean, it wouldn't, right? So, yeah.
It would be simple, somewhere between what exists and what I have proposed here.
Okay. We could agree to that, actually.
Bring it to a 6 feet.
Right.
That's how we phrase it, drop the roof pitch to a 6 pitch.
Yeah.
Really, no.
So that side, the entrance, that triggers a variance, Bill? That's that stairway coming up on the
Truthfully,
outside?
I don't have a scale copy,
It's
so
it's 4 feet 4, the answer, so
So-
4 feet 4 up the building.
you know, if it's the site plan, the plot plan, I don't have it to scale, so.
Yeah.
Setback on that side's a little.
So that would leave us 8 feet to the side yard, roughly. 12, 6 to the building.
It'd be a side yard setback there. Right.
It's an aggravation of the existing non-conforming. Neither side yard comply, like both.
Right. Well, actually, as it's an accessory structure in the rear yard, the front yard there. No, never mind, forget it.
Right where we're going.
That's really all we have of Mr. Bice, but I do have my planner here in terms of the use variance.
There's no way that those stairs could be internal, like a door, an entrance door on the driveway floor height, and then do it inside the thing. That way it eliminates that.
Side
Yeah,
yard.
but
That
now
whole-
we're really decreasing the available floor area.
How wide is that? How wide is the,
16. Building's only 24 feet wide now.
all right, okay. Yeah, so then you're just wiping out a whole garage.
Yeah, it only works with the stairs outside.
Yeah, and I mean, you got adequate parking, so even if you figure 2 spots for that, for this structure, you still have plenty of parking. How many spots
Well,
do
what
you
will
have
happen
there?
is it'll allow us to use,
Yeah.
right now, half of this garage is compromised with
The stairs in
the
the back.
staircase and some pillars, right? So once we remove that and restructure the existing, we'll have room for 2 cars inside and 2 in front.
At least. I mean, down there, that's the biggest,
Yeah.
yeah, they got the biggest, oh, you know, you could get, the parking's not an issue.
What size doors are they? The garage doors currently?
One looks bigger than the other.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would not have that information.
or what size?
9 foot wide is what it's saying, yeah.
I can't see.
Mine are both
I'll
not.
borrow my
They may
glasses.
have a 10 and an 8, I'm not sure.
Yeah, if you look at the picture, one looks wider than the other, but that doesn't, that's neither here nor there.
But as far as the volume, you can see they have 90% of the volume in place already. We're just raising the sidewalks.
Who else, what was your next?
So I got my planner.
Good evening.
Yeah.
You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Your name, sir?
Matthew Flynn, FLYNN.
You want to just run through your educational professional background real quick? I know you testified here before, though.
I have, yeah. So my education comes from Rutgers. I have my professional planner's license in the state of New Jersey, as well as my national licensure, which is the AICP. I have testified before this board once before, as well as about 100 other boards across the state.
Okay, so I got you on board with regard to this application in order to go through the planning testimony and the variance that we have with regard to habitation in an accessory structure. So I want to talk to the board about that.
Sure. So by introducing habitation into this accessory structure, which is the garage, we are triggering what's known as the D1 use variance. Basically, the enhanced burden of proof for use variance is what's known as site suitability, so we have to look at the specific characteristics of this property and assess whether this is a good place for that use variance to be situated. Here, we're looking at an accessory structure that's there already, so we are proposing some modest upgrades to that structure, but generally, we are keeping what's there today. If we were going to accommodate an additional bedroom and additional living space in the primary residence, it would be unfeasible. I think we heard testimony on the record about how that would not necessarily be a good alternative. I will add, just in terms of site suitability, 2 doors down, we have a property known as 255 Lakeside Boulevard. We do have a property that has a guest house on it as well as a primary residence. So I think there is compatibility there. I would add that the accessory structure is not proximate to the lake. It's on the other side. It's in the front of the property. So it's not going to impede or have really any impact on enjoyment of the lake by any of our neighbors. In terms of the positive criteria, the project benefits, this comes from the municipal land use law. Purpose A, promotion of the general welfare. Accessory dwelling units like this provides what we call missing middle housing. It provides a more affordable alternative for people that maybe want to age in place, people that need a caregiver, or aging family members, people with special needs and the like. So I would say that this is something that has been recognized by New Jersey legislation as an essential component of New Jersey's housing supply. Again, looking at what makes this property suitable by virtue of the fact that the mass and scale is pretty much already there. Purpose G, variety of uses in appropriate locations. Again, going back to that site suitability testimony, I am aware that there have been other properties in Hopatcong that have gotten similar approvals. So this is not something that's brand new to the town. Purpose I, desirable visual environment. This does provide the opportunity for this homeowner to provide a nice upgrade to this accessory structure that is in the front yard of the property. It's going to be neat, clean, and modest in terms of the site upgrades. Purpose M, efficient use of land. Again, we're not creating any new structures. We're not really impacting the footprint per se. And this is an existing family that can't really feasibly expand in their primary residence. Negative criteria, no substantial detriment to the public or to the zone. Again, impervious coverage, building footprint, we're working with what's there. We just heard that parking would not be an issue on this property. And again, no impacts on enjoyment of the lake in the back there. And I will add that since we are talking about a use variance, there is a footnote in that use variance case law, which is the Medici test, that talks about uses that are gaining currency. And this is a use that has been, I would say, making its rounds in the planning literature. C relief, we are requesting relief for the garage, side setback, which we went over. This is only to accommodate the new staircase. It is pretty much the only option that we would have in order to accommodate this use. And then the height, which we're going to work on and to mitigate as much as possible. But again, we do have the slopes that go down from the street, and I think it is modest in terms of what we are upgrading. And are we asking for? No. So that's it in terms of the relief. I would say that the C relief is justified by the C2 balancing test. Positive criteria, all the benefits I went through carry forth. And in terms of the negative criteria, again, I think it's all a very modest upgrade over what we have today. So I think all said, this is a very appropriate application, and I think it's going to be a nice upgrade to the site.
Okay, do we have any questions of the planner?
I think the property has a good amount of parking.
Yeah, for
compared
down
to-
there, absolutely.
Compared to the other homes. That being said, though, would the property owner be willing to restrict that to just family members as opposed to it being turned into a rental unit?
Yeah.
I think we are,
Yeah,
I
But,
said family,
I thought I touched on that, but yeah, it's definitely only gonna be designed for them, and we would definitely, be happy to put that in as a deed restriction. I'll work that out with Mr. Haggerty.
Perfect.
Just a question to the planner. I certainly appreciate your detailed justification. I was just wondering if you could expand on your thinking, particularly regarding aging in place. Believe me, I have a 98-year-old mom. I'm very sensitive to that. My understanding, access to the living space will be done through the stairs. How are you justifying, say, senior aging or disabilities being able to access that space easily, particularly in case of emergencies.
Yeah, I
Could
would
you
say
expand
that
your thinking on, is
this
the staircase
particular-
the only way to get in?
in terms of the feasibility of any other option, I would defer to the architect, but I would just say that, to your point, obviously, if you did have maybe a 98-year-old.
Well, no,
person,
in
maybe
the
it would-
general umbrella of aging or special needs.
Right, yeah, I would say that if there is a person that's, hard of walking or something like that, maybe this particular property wouldn't be the best option for that type of situation, but I would say that there are middle grounds, and ADUs do have benefits, not just for aging in place, but also other people with special needs that maybe can get up a flight of stairs.
Okay.
You know, if you look at the drawing on the back of on the back of the garage, if you put a door on the out, I mean, it could almost go
Yeah.
to the driveway, like if you had to, you know?
So
Take the
there's a-
window out.
Yep, I think so. There's a couple of options with regard to that. I think it's a great comment. With this particular piece of property and these particular folks, she's still in pretty good shape. She's only 67 years young, you said, right? Something like that. So, however, there's always the option of shifting that around, because the mother could always be in the house also, and you could put the kids up there. As long as it's all within the same family, you could.
No, I was just not
the-
talking about specific people, but the general scope of his argument that this was appropriate for aging in place and special needs. I just didn't understand his thinking.
Right.
That's all.
And the other good option in something like this construction, you could always put an elevator in the bottom from the garage, inside of the garage up. There, you would have an option for that.
There's.
Internal. Right. So anyway, I think this property will work for these folks, but it's a good comment. And I would just add, we have these situations around town where we have, where we have in-law suites and this sort of thing. And from a planning point of view, the state itself is moving in this direction to have more of a family unit, if you will, living on a piece of property with the appropriate deed restrictions in place, that it's the family, not rentals.
Right.
And from a planning point of view, the state is moving in that direction. There are actually subsidies that are being granted right now with regard to that. You can actually get money from the state for that. So quite a few municipalities are building this into their ordinance to allow for this with the appropriate restrictions, obviously.
Right.
And maybe they would be, conditional use variances. I don't know how it would be set up, but there's definitely a movement, a planning movement going in this direction. So we're not going somewhere, that the planning industry isn't moving towards anyway.
One of the key distinctions, we've got lots of properties, of course, with detached garages. But what makes this perhaps somewhat unusual is that you have more than enough parking, and that,
Right.
I think that's a big consideration of a lot of these applications.
Agreed. Okay, no further questions of the planner?
That's the extent of our application.
All right. Okay, I'll open this up.
Just one other thing, since this is going to be a living space, is it prudent to have two ways in and out of the building in case of emergencies, separate from the stairs issue? Say the stairs issue is blocked. Do you think it's just a general good idea to have a second way to get out?
I think they have egress windows, fire egress, correct? I mean,
We're required by code to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we
So,
have to have an egress window.
yeah, so there is, the construction code addresses that issue in terms of window egress, and we're gonna have those windows. But we don't have a potential to put another entrance to this. It doesn't work on this site right now. But we do have let's put it this way, in terms of ingress and egress, it's a construction code issue, and we're gonna comply.
Okay. I'll open this application to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to comment on this application? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board. Yes, sir.
Just a technicality that with the roof that's over the top of the stairs, I believe we're gonna be talking about a lot coverage variance also.
Okay. As far as what,
Minor-
it hanging out?
Yeah, because I mean, my figures originally was at 38%, so we add an extra 10, 20 or
Square
50
feet?
whatever it is that, it's gonna, just technically a lot coverage variance.
So we have we have the deed restriction and we have the 6 pitch on the roof
Okay,
as additional conditions, I think.
yeah, family only, 6 pitch on the roof, and I guess the construction department will figure out if that's an additional
And also-
EDU,
And
which it
also
should be.
a height restriction too.
Yeah,
that's what.
yeah, that's what
Height
it's 6.
variance,
Yep, so,
height variance gotta be in there too.
okay, with all that in there, do I have a motion?
I'll
I'll
make a
make the
motion.
motion.
I'll second it. Right
You
there.
guys are, I was gonna say, you guys are confusing. Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Shirilla,
Yes.
Ms. Crock,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Mazaluski,
Yes.
Chairman Ray.
Yes. All right, you got it.
Thank you.
Yep, have a good night. Okay, the next application is 226 Lakeside Ave LLC. 226 Lakeside Ave. Is someone here from 226?
Chairman, that's mine also, actually.
All right,
Amy was kind enough to
I
make
did,
it
I pictured
convenient
you,
for me.
yes, I did.
So Bernd Heffley on behalf of this applicant, and it is 226 Lakeside Avenue. And what we have here is this structure is it's actually a 2-family house. It's a multifamily, pre-existing non-conforming multifamily duplex, if you will. And this application is actually fairly simple. We are raising the roof on this structure is what we are proposing to more of a normal height. It's somewhat low right now, but this is a 2-story structure, used as a 2-story structure, 2-story multifamily. And we're looking to add 294 square feet into the box, if you will, to raise the roof and change the pitch of the roof to make that second floor more usable. We stay within the footprint, and all of the existing bulk variances, pre-existing non-conforming bulk variance, all of that stays in place. And we just reconfigure the inside of this piece of property. And that's what we're looking for. So that is technically also an expansion of a non-conforming use, but in this situation, it's really only technical because it's a 2-family duplex. It stays a 2-family duplex, and we're adding 294 square feet to reconfigure the inside. But we're not adding, another residential structure in there. We're not changing the footprint. We're not doing any of that. It's staying exactly with the exact same utilization for the people inside it that it is today. So that technicality of the expansion of the non-conforming use is really because we're changing that roof size and adding 294 square feet.
But you're adding 1 bedroom to each of the units in the duplex. You're adding 2 additional bedrooms, correct?
That's correct.
have you gone to the health department to expand the septic system?
So, have we gone to the health department? I do not believe that we have gone to the health department, no.
Because an expansion of bedrooms is, that has to go through the health department.
It does. Yep. You know what it's designed for right now? Do you know how many bedrooms it's designed for right now?
It was designed for, it was like a 3-bedroom there before. When I bought it.
Yeah, I mean, any expansion of bedrooms has to go.
Okay, so
It goes from 4 to 6, right, Mr. Heffley?
what's that?
It's currently 2 bedrooms in each unit. It's going from 4
Yeah.
bedrooms to 6 bedrooms.
That's what's shown on our plans right now. That's correct.
Well, that all has to, I mean, I don't know if we want to approve this without having Board of Health approval first. I mean, because that's gonna require an expansion of the septic system.
Have you looked into that extension of the septic system? You're not.
I mean, if it was sewers, if it was on sewers, it's not a
It'd be no
problem.
big deal. No, I understand.
The system that's there now is not a 6-bedroom. Nobody would put a 6-bedroom system in. They had to.
Yeah.
The construction, it's in the process. The little building is gutted. The whole is gutted.
So, yeah, that's not right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, so we can put my client up here for some testimony, and he's right about this. We were gonna use those those additional rooms, not necessarily for bedrooms, but I do think that, we're definitely gonna have to get health department approval for this. You guys, my real question is, the rest of this application, I mean, we could take that as a condition, and if we don't get it, we don't get it.
Well, I
Because-
mean, I don't know, I would rather see you get that first and then come back, I mean,
Mhm.
that's my thought on it.
Yeah, the difference with this application and the previous application, I was
The
anxious-
sewers.
I was anxious sewers and also parking lot, because I'm looking at your plan here. You end up with 6 bedrooms and I'm trying to figure out where you're parking now. You got a long driveway that goes down. But I don't really see any parking spaces.
Well, I think I mean, do you wanna adjourn this or ask for,
I mean, if the board, if the board wants to confirm the septic system first, I can understand.
Yeah, I would prefer that.
Okay.
An importance to that.
Yeah.
Yep, no, that's fine, so let us do that and
Okay.
we'll figure that out. And quite frankly, depending on how that goes, we may take some of these bedrooms out of here,
Okay.
right? So,
Yeah.
so that we can make it work.
Yeah.
The home is in the home is in the process of being renovated right now, isn't it?
Is it under construction? No, not yet.
That's the other one, that's down the. They're close by. Yeah.
So,
All right, so Bill, they want to carry this application without notice?
You want to carry it without further notice. And would that be to you want to have the second meeting in August? Is
A
that?
month from now? Is that good? Can you get that squared away?
I think we can, if not, we'll send in a letter, but we'll try to do it within a month.
Okay.
So that, what was the bill, August what?
20th.
20th?
How old is the building?
Really?
It's old.
Easy.
50.
More than that.
Have you been to the
Any
site?
records
Have
of
you been
that
to the
septic
site?
system up in Sussex County.
Yeah.
And that means you'd have to have some sort of inspection. procedure.
Well,
There's construction going on in there.
if it's such an old system that there are no records, and that certainly does exist, because I look at that site
Yeah.
frequently. Then generally the accepted standard is what the
That's right, yeah,
property
he
is
would do that,
assessed
yeah.
for, the number of bedrooms. that
Yeah,
it's
but I'm
assessed for.
sure if he bought it, he had an inspection done anyway.
Yeah, but I want to tell
Well,
you this.
in any event, we're gonna
Yeah.
figure out the septic situation and make sure that we bring something before the board that works. Either we're gonna have to reduce the bedroom count, or we can make it work. So, but let us work on that.
Okay.
And we'll be back.
Oh, okay. We don't need a vote on that, either.
We'll have a vote to carry the application hearing without further notice to the August 20th meeting.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mr.
Well,
Bakayani?
yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Sherla?
Yes.
Ms. Croft?
Yes.
Mr. Taylor?
Yes.
Mr. Mizaluski?
Yes.
Chairman Ray?
Yes. Okay. You got it. All right, the last application today is Natalie and Alejandro Peralta, block 31402, lot 60, 1 Lakeland Drive.
Good evening.
You are?
Good evening. My name is Natalia Peralta.
All right, Bill will swear you in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
And your full name again?
Natalia Peralta.
And you're one of the property owners?
Yes, I am. Good evening. We're requesting the approval of a second floor deck with stairs and with a roof on the dwelling number 1A. So there is an existing deck on the first level of the house that connects directly to our bedroom. When we have more than 5 people, they have to go through our bedroom upstairs to the bathroom to be able to use it. So it's not practical, and I was wondering and requesting if we can do that, build a second deck on the second floor with a roof connected to the social area, which is in the second floor.
Okay. So you're basically just going up above what's
What
already
is existing
existing
there, that is correct.
Okay. You're just gonna extend that roof line out,
Yes.
the existing roof line
The
out,
existing roof
Yes.
that is on the house right now, it's extended over.
over the
new-
porch.
Yes.
Okay.
Our social area inside the house in the second floor it fits like 5 people, most when we're having dinner. So we want to enjoy the summer. We have only one son that lives in Pennsylvania. Usually he comes in the summer. He got married and it's too small. It's too small to have them inside the house all the time. And in order to do something social outside, we have to go down through 20 stairs out from our bedroom to the deck.
Lot of stairs.
Yes.
I mean, this is pretty straightforward. It's just going up right above what's already there.
Is this existing?
The first one is, Rich, they're just putting another deck
Second one,
right above it, you know what I'm saying? And they're putting it, and they're just extending the roof line out.
but I mean, this wasn't built already.
The first
No.
level
That was
was.
built when we purchased it, yes.
Yeah, the first one. So. All right, we have any questions, this applicant? Okay, I'll open this application to the public. Does anybody from the public wish to comment on this application?
Bernd Heffley, I happen to be the immediate neighbor on the side yard. So they've done a wonderful job with their house. It looks beautiful. They've made a lot of improvements to it. It's a small little piece of property that they've really turned into something special. I'm the only guy that's gonna be affected by this, and I don't see anything negative whatsoever. So I would
Thank you.
I would ask you to approve the
Good
variance.
answer. Good answer.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else from the public wish to comment on this application? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board, make their motion. We have a motion?
Mr. Giovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Shirley,
Yes.
Ms. Croft,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Mr. Mezalowski,
Yes.
Chairman Wright.
Yes. Okay,
Thank you very
good
much.
luck with it. Thank you.
I would like to request a waive for memorialization period.
All right.
Did your neighbor tell you to say that?
I'll make the motion.
We have a second.
Second.
Okay,
Mr. Giovanni,
yes.
Mr. Shirley,
Yes.
Ms. Croft,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
Mr. Mezalowski,
Yes.
Chairman Wright.
Yes. All right, you got
Thank you
it.
very
Go to
much.
work.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, next item on the agenda is, the meeting is open to the public. Does anybody from the public have any public comments? Seeing none, I'll close it to the public and bring it back to the board. Next item on the agenda is Judy.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Yes, sorry, if I ask a stupid